Hello and welcome to the New Year's edition of Conversations with an Investor. I hope you had a good New Year and enjoyed yourself. And on that topic, let's discuss New Year's resolutions. For anyone that doesn't know what a New Year's resolution is, because it seems to be in certain places and not others, it's where you make a resolution for what you're going to do in the new coming year that will improve your life or something that you want to stick to. So it's the time of year that is pretty interesting if you sit back and observe what goes on with people around this time, and especially if they're setting New Year's resolutions for themselves, which is very, very popular. I was checking out some facts and figures for any studies that were done before we came on, and it appears that 97% of New Year's resolutions are destined to fail, and only 7 to 8% of people seriously set New Year's resolutions. So it's a hot topic, because what happens at this time of year, lots of people buy gym memberships, they join training programs, they're looking for some sort of action that they can take that's going to, promote their New Year's resolution to become nothing but an extreme success. So the question is, what really happens? Like, why do most of them fail? Well, I think why most of them fail is that when people go to write down that New Year's resolution, they are actually not prepared to change anything. I don't think they're committed to what they're planning to do. And what I mean by that is that they will set an intention of what they would like, and that's really where it remains, because the reason most of the New Year's resolutions fail is that the people will pick the action or result that they want. They want to lose weight, want to get in better shape, want to be fitter, stronger, faster, run quicker, cycle round the loop faster, want to be, want to look a certain way. These types of things. Maybe they want to try something new. Maybe they want to, take the leap into a business venture or something similar. So there's many great concepts of why a New Year's resolution would be good, but not many people will stick to them. And over this new year, and I'm not certainly preaching from high above. I've certainly fell into that trap myself, where I've set a big goal or a big intention for the year, and it's just slipped. And it made me think, I was thinking to myself, like, why does that happen? Because you see all these people that are going out and they're obviously clearly giving it some thought, and that they would like to get something out of themselves. And deep inside, they know that they've got more. They're probably caught up in the holiday spirit, and this is the chat that goes around. If you listen carefully, just enjoy yourself. It's time for family. It's time for festivities. It's time to relax. Just take the time off, right? What that really means is people are getting drunk. People are eating way too much. They're eating garbage. They're not doing their exercises they would normally do. And they fall into this trap. And what happens is they're leading into this time progressively getting further and further and further away from their objective. So say, for instance, you wanted to get in better shape. And there's people that I know that are out there eating as many takeaways, going out for as many dinners, drinking as many pints as they possibly can get down themselves, because they know that they're starting anew. And it's like, can you see the ridiculousness of that? And that the key to having a successful result in anything is preparing yourself, right? Preparing yourself. So what might you want to do? You might want to start training as soon as possible. You might want to tidy up your diet as soon as possible. You might want to get the junk food out of the house. You might want to go and get more healthy foods in, so that you've got the ease of cooking them. You want the easy choice to be it's there, so that you might want to prepare for this new start, new me, my year, all this stuff. But what do people do? And I was observing this because I thought it'd be interesting to find out. As I'm building the coaching community, I'm paying attention in much more detail to these things to try and figure out what causes the great attrition rate, the great failure rate in New Year's resolutions. Because people are setting goals, and the whole purpose of when you set a goal is that you probably think you can do better. You can probably think that you're going to get a better result out of yourself. You know that you've got more in you, but you're not getting there. There's something missing in your formula. So I was watching the people at New Year, and I'm just listening to the language. Oh, I'll start. I'll start next year. We'll do it then. That's way far away. And what they're doing is they're drinking and eating to excess. They're getting stuck in. They're that, in that much of a food coma. They can't remember what day it is. How many people have you heard say that? It's the time between Christmas and New Year where you don't know what day it is. Right, the training's out the window. Anything that they did, if they went to the gym, that's out the window. If they're out training outside, that's out the window. It's too cold, and that sort of stuff. They're not got any structure to what their normal life is like. And yet, despite all this, they're coming up with a plan of how they're going to be even better as they're getting stuck into the Ferrero Rochers. And you look at it and you think this is actually quite interesting to observe. This is completely bananas, because if you were going to prepare for something, you would be taking as many steps to make it as easy as possible for you to get to the goal. And when you actually observe it, what it is people are actually getting as further and further away from their goal as possible, because they've got this, it's festive, it's time for the family. Well, I don't know how getting fat and eating to excess and blowing the calorie consumption off the chart and not doing any movement and forgetting what day it is being there for the family. I don't buy it. I don't buy it one bit. And again, listen, I'm not preaching here. I have done exactly the same thing. But when you start to get more out of yourself and you want more out of yourself, you start to see the fallacy of this whole thing. And we were at a conversation at the mother-in-law's, and my son, he's like, I'm going to go out and work out. And the automatic response was, what are you doing that for? It's a time to relax. It's a time to enjoy yourself. You can work out later. And my son, he's like, no, I want to get after it now. I want to stay hard, stay tough, and I want to keep consistent. I want to get up early, I want to get my workout done, and I want to be ready. And it was an interesting to see both sides of that. And I had a choice on New Year's Day, so we travelled to see the in-laws. Tradition, we would travel to go and see them, stay over, have dinner there, which is great. It's a great thing to do. And the weather conditions were not great. So I thought to myself, on New Year's Day, I'm going to cycle from my house to their house, because the easier option's taking the car. And it was cold, it was wet, it was windy. Right. On top of that, the shifter on one side wasn't functioning properly, so I couldn't get into my easier gears on my bike. Now, I knew this before I left, but I thought, well, I'll just go out and I'll deal with it, because look, I know that if push comes to shove, I'm going to take the harder choice, and I can get there. I can get there on these gears that I've got. Be tougher. It's not ideal, but I can do it. And these things are the psychological edge that you get when you're faced with a situation, especially at this time of year. You think of what people are running into at the minute, right? So they're off their, they've taken the foot off the gas. They're probably eating more food than they need. It's probably junk food. They're probably drinking alcohol. But they probably can't remember what day it is, because they're just unplugged. They're relaxing, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But at the detriment when there's a point when it becomes excessive, and you think to yourself, well, it's an easy trap. You can see how this trap forms. And one of the things that I seen is that if you're in that situation where you've been, slid into that trap, the slightest thing will put you off. If you were going to do the same thing that I was doing as in cycle, it could have been any one of those. The shifter wasn't working. It's cold. It's wet. It's dark. Will you get there in enough time? Why do it when the car's there? It's warmer. You can get there, and a whole manner of stuff. whole load of reasons why you shouldn't do. You should take the easier route, and that is why that's that inner voice trying to talk you out of it. And you can see how the mindset shift is very, very difficult. And I think what happens at New Year is people set the big goal, but they're subconsciously not aware that they're setting themselves further back with the actions that are classed as festivities. And it just doesn't prime people for making changes, and it's easy to see why they slip off. So I've noted down some information because I thought it'd be good to talk about this, especially at this time of year. So one of the things that I notice when people are doing this is that there's a few signs that come up, and I'll go over a few of them now because I've taken notes of things that I think would be, you'll almost think that I'm living in your brain because these are the things that have happened to you. So they generally go backwards through because their preparation is drink, more food, excessive relaxation, and just taking the foot off the gas. So it's like that. When you get started, it can be hard to get started again. And I think that I'm of the mind that you're better to keep going rather than try to get over that initial inertia when you try to start again, because it is so difficult. And I'm saying this from experience. I've done it. Like, I've done the whole, eating to excess, no training, and it's chaos, absolute carnage. And I don't know why it didn't dawn on me before, earlier, but I'm speaking from experience. I understand what people are going through. And one of the other big things, one of the things that I'm doing over in the coaching community is how to properly set a goal. Now, lots of people have set goals, but very few people have properly set one. And there's some special elements that you can apply to setting a goal. And one of those things is how often that you see that goal. And what I mean by that is that if that is at the forefront of your mind, you tend to be drawn towards whatever that goal is. And one of the things that has been extremely successful at allowing me to achieve all number of goals, all manner of goals, and all different sizes of goals, is I'll start out every day by writing what that goal is. Right, it's one sentence. We're not talking about writing War and Peace. It's one sentence, and it's at the forefront of the mind. And we institute that in the coaching community, where we say, right, this is exactly how you do this. If you take the time to go through these questions, you take the time to answer them, you take the time to write all this out, it is a proven formula for massive success. And one of those component parts is writing that goal down every day. You compare that, so that proven track record, that proven way of doing it, it's hook, line and sinker. You do it, you'll get your result. You compare that to what people do. They set the New Year's resolution once, never look at it again, never think about it again. And meanwhile, they've got this chatter in their ear about, it's so hard, it's cold outside, you're back at work, you've been busy, they're trying to, it's the shock to the system. So the shock is they're going back to work when they've been off work. They're going to try and eat clean food when they've been eating nothing but junk. They're going to drinking water when they've been drinking all manner of different drinks, fizzy, alcoholic, all that sort of thing. And it's just a huge shift. And then they maybe go and try and train, or they'll go and try and work out. And naturally they're going to be blown out the backside. And that's expected because of the preparation. And then what happens is the only thing that they can hear is that inner voice. Start again later on, start again Monday, you're busy at work, it's too cold, it's too dark, it's too wet, and it just overpowers them because they're not addressing the goal. The goal isn't in the forefront of their mind. Another thing that's an important component of when you set a goal is why. Why are you doing it? Who are you doing it for? Are you doing it for yourself? Are you doing it for your loved ones? Are you doing it for your health? Are you doing it because you've got an image of what you would like to look like? Are you doing it because you'd like to progress your life in a certain way? Are you doing it for your kids? Why do it? Like an interesting one was a guy that I've been friends with for years. he could get away with eating anything, and I mean anything. And then I would say to him, look, it's going to catch up to me one day, because, you know, I was further along down, I'm older than he is, and, you know, I realised that my metabolism wasn't as quick as it used to be, so I could put on weight much more easily than I would have previously. And I said, look, you need to, like, this will catch up with you one day. I'd be like, no. And we get away with murder. And it was great. We'd have a laugh and a joke, because, like, we're actually not soft, and we don't have triggers and my trauma. We don't have any of that. We have a good piss take, and it's good fun, and it's in good heartedness, and it's enjoyable, and it's memorable, and it's what forges bonds when you're not a snowflake. So, speaking to him, I says, look, you know, it'll catch up with you, and you just need to be mindful of that, and take the lesson for the guy that's further on down this track. Lo and behold, never took any of it on, like a good lad, of course, like a true man, ignored it all. Don't blame him. But now he got his second kid, he's got himself a little belly on him, and now he's sitting there like, oh, this has caught up with me. And at the peak time that this has caught up, his work's extremely busy, his home life's extremely busy with a new baby, right? And now he's got this, you know, timber that he wants to try and shift that he's never needed to shift before. And he's starting from that point that I've just described, where it's like, why are you doing it? And good tactics are like, do you want your kids to see you like this version of you? Do you want them to be proud of their dad? Like, what can you do that will make them proud? Like, what can you do that you'll enjoy that will make them proud, and that you'll be healthier, fitter, faster, stronger, better? What is that? And that's a strong goal. And that strong goal is going to wipe out that inner voice, that inner chatter that, not today, it's too dark, it's too cold, just relax, you need a recovery day, all that nonsense, all that garbage that people lay upon themselves. Now, I'm not beating up on recovery or anything like that. Recovery is extremely important. But let me tell you something. You need to earn recovery, which means you need to work hard enough that you need to recover from it. And most people don't do it. They think, go in, they do 15 ab crunches, take a picture for Instagram, flex their hips a certain way to get a picture of their booty in the mirror, and then beat it. And then, I need a recovery day because I've worked hard. Nonsense. Garbage. So yes, earn your recovery day. Right? So that's what you want to do when you tie something that's a goal that you want to make sure it's at the forefront of your mind, that the inner voice comes and it's going to try and defeat you, and you've got a powerful why. Why are you doing it? And it's like having an anti-inner voice gun. Just shoots out the sky. Not here, not today. Not on my watch. I've got things to do. I've got kids to make proud. I've got myself to be proud of. I've got goals to hit. I've got targets to smash. I've got time for your inner voice, your nonsense that you come with me, your excuses, your weakness. We're not buying what you're selling. Let it know. And that's the power of why. That's the power of knowing why you should be doing something. So the next thing's how to set a proper resolution. Now, there's two parts to this. I would urge you, if you're interested in doing this, come over and visit the coaching community. It's free to join. So there's a list of questions that will be sent to you. You fill them in, you answer them. It's not for the faint-hearted. Let me make this clear to you. If you're prepared to commit to going through the process, you will be blown away by the results that you will get out of yourself, right? But you need to you need to stay the course. You know, you see the Navy Hell Week, and a lot of guys got them ring the bell because they quit, and then 2 minutes later they knew that they could have done more. It's like the mental version of that, but it just squeezes performance out of you. It goes in looking in all the nooks and crannies for that potential, and it's going to dig it out, weed it out, and show you where it lies so that you can tap into it when you need to. So part of that process is asking yourself some of the questions that I've went over. Why? How to set a goal, how to remind yourself of that goal all the time. And what you'll find in the coaching community is a structure that you can use that's easy to apply, that gets you to think about these things that are the reasons why you're doing it, what you're going to get when you get there, and why you should take a bazooka to your inner voice. Just shoot it out the sky, because It's the killer of your dreams. It will destroy your dreams. Don't let it destroy your dreams, because you've got the artillery to take it out, and you also have the focus and potential to hit these targets that you set yourself. So if you're interested in finding out more about how to set a resolution, then check it out there. And more importantly, I would say that the thing that you should get in your head is not waiting to New Year to set a resolution. A resolution is just another word for a goal, or a dream, or something you want to do. See if it's a good idea. Start now. Not Monday, not next week, not the start of the year. The time is now. It's right here and right now. So do it. Don't delay. Don't procrastinate. If there's a second killer to your dreams, procrastination. Do not let procrastination kill your dreams. Right? I repeat, don't let procrastination kill your dreams. If you want something, do it now. You've no excuses. If you stay the course in the coaching community questions, you will be infinitely better out the other side. All you need to do is stick to it, right? And you are in a culture of people that are doing exactly the same, that want the most out of themselves, right? You will be the living, breathing embodiment of going looking for your potential, right? And people will see it in you. You will see it in you. The people that you want to make proud will see it in you. What's there not to like about that? What do you need to do? You need to hang the course, answer the questions, stick in, commit to doing the little things that will get you there. So the tools that you need for doing this, to make sure that you stick to it, are, you need to first of all be able to set a goal properly. And as I said to you, that's got specific parts. Now, rather than me explaining them here, you can visit the coaching community and you will see them over there. And it's an interactive process where you can engage in setting these goals. And it's going to give you a formula, it's a template that you can use and apply every time. Because the whole purpose of this is that you can become your own secret weapon to achieving whatever your goals are. And this is being a culmination of all the people that keep smashing their goals. You go and observe what they do, and it's not a secret magical formula. They just do particular things. They're not hard to do, but the difficulty that people find is being consistent and shooting down that inner voice. That's what they miss. So the framework over there is to give you the power to shoot down that inner voice, have a crystal clear goal, and how to track that you're on the path. And if you get off the path, you know where to go to get back on as soon as possible. Because let me make it clear, everybody, bar none, strays off the path to some degree at some point. That it's not to say that it won't happen. It's saying, hey, look, when you're ready, lasso yourself, get back over here and get in the game. That's all you need to do. And the more you do that, the less you veer off the path. You become a straight line to your goals. And you're going to find that the hard thing at the start, which is the structure, the format, the discipline, the committing yourself to seeing it through, that's hard. But it's also the tool that unlocks you, that gets you the best out of your life. It's simple but difficult to do at the beginning. And then once you get used to it, it becomes extremely powerful to use and very simple for you to, very easy for you to apply, because you're used to it. And the only thing that will cost you is getting the commitment and going through the initial process. So in closing, to summarise what we've discussed, you'll see that we've got the Mount Mindset t-shirt on. You're going to find out more about this in the coaching community. I tell a story about a mountain, and I call it Mount Mindset. And it's the proverbial story of, if you imagine that you had to climb a mountain, and at the top of that mountain you could visibly see every goal and every dream that you ever wanted at a 360 degree view. You could go and see that. But what you had to do to be able to work out where your goal lay in the distance, so that you could have a direction to point to, you had to climb and ascend this mountain. And on this mountain there's many, many trails. And those trails represent the inner voice, the weakness, the lack of consistency, the lack of self-value, the lack of self-confidence, all the little things that are in your mind that are going to play tricks on you to keep you at the base of Mount Mindset. And Mount Mindset, what we've got in there is a mental obstacle course that's going to teach you how to defeat these little mind tricks that are played in your head, so that you can gain things like self-confidence, self-value, self-discipline, self-motivation, drive, determination, so that you can start to ascend to the top of Mount Mindset. And when you get there, to the top, you can look and you can start to go, where's my dreams? They're there. And you can say, right, I'm plotting my path to that point. So that's the ethos with Mount Mindset. That's what we're doing over at the coaching community. You come along and join in the fun. If you've set a New Year's resolution and you're committed to it, get in the game. If you've already failed, right, that's you off the path. You need to make a decision. Are you ready to double down and go hardcore? Or are you just going to wait till next year? Cancel that gym membership, put your new clothes in the back in the drawer that you've bought that you'll never wear, and be thankful of all your excuses. Next Monday, I'll do it next month. Yada, 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 yada. Decide who you're going to be. Remember, set a proper goal. Why are you doing it? Who's it for? Remember to see that goal all the time. How are you going to make sure that it's visible? Also, think about how you're going to prepare yourself for it. What's the voices in your head going to say? How do you shoot them down? And then how do you do a framework and a template that you can apply daily to make sure that you're getting the most out of yourself? And if you don't know how to work any of those out, get over to the coaching community and we'll show you how. So there you go, my top tips for New Year's resolutions, which will be goals consistently for the rest of your life, where you become your own superpower, your own super weapon to achieve whatever it is that you want in life, so you can get the best for yourself and your family. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Conversations with an Investor. Remember, my coaching community is over at my website, giomcnee.com. If you want to follow us on any of the social media channels, it's at Conversations with an Investor on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter. You can also visit my website. If you've got any email inquiries, pop me an email. Get in touch. The comments have been great so far. I've been keeping a read at them. When we launch the coaching community, we're going to be doing questions and answers. So when people are getting stuck, we're going to go and find out why. We're going to be doing group coaching calls so that we can do the top things that have happened in that week. We can start to dismantle and disassemble them. And also, you can feel a sense of community. There's people out there just like you who want to get the best out of themselves. And it doesn't matter if you are the housewife that is wanting to get in shape and you don't really feel that you've got a place in being something like this. Let me tell you something. If you want to get after it and you want to improve yourself, you're in the team, right? And it's all the way through to the top guys breaking through new boundaries and breaking through old limits, and everyone in between, because the formula's the same. We're in the people game. We're in the mindset game. And regardless of where you're at in that scale, the formula is the same about how to get the best out of yourself. So if you like that, come along and join us, and we'll see you again in the next episode.